Yeah, the class is recording already, so I think we can continue.
Okay, class, sorry for that. So I've contacted the admin. So we can start now. So I think the lecture is recording now. So
All right, so
this
you didn't
night,
share the
we are
material
going,
with us on the group.
eh?
I said you didn't share the material with us on the group chat.
I sent the material to the group chat.
Oh, okay,
Please
okay.
check.
Okay.
This night, we are going to look at tax practice in Nigeria. We are going to look at tax practice in Nigeria. When we talk about tax practice in Nigeria, we want to look at it in the angle of first, the tax practitioner, and the second is the tax administrator. First, we want to look at it in the angle of tax practitioner, while the second in the angle of tax administrator. So we can start. Tax practice in Nigeria. Tax practice in Nigeria. The tax practitioner, who are the tax practitioner? They are the firm of they are the tax practice firm licensed by the professional institute to practice tax-related services to their clients. They are independent firm licensed by the institute to practice tax-related services to their clients. Why tax administration? Tax administrator, they are the body that is responsible for assessment, collection, and account for taxes on behalf of government. Now, what is the role of tax practice firm? As a tax practitioner, what is your role? Role of tax practice firm. First and foremost, a tax practice firm, they will prepare tax record for their client preparation of tax record for clients. Another role that tax practice firm perform is computation of end of year tax liability. Some of the company, if they want to compute their company income tax at the end of the year, it is their tax consultant that will help them to compute it. So they'll have a tax consultant. It is their tax consultant that they will help them to compute it. Filing of tax return. You want to file your tax return in Tax Promas, either VAT return or company income tax return or education tax return or withholding tax return, all these kind of things. Some of this filing of tax return, some company, they have outsourced it to their who? To their tax consultant, which is the tax practice firm. So one of the role of tax practice firm is to file tax return for their clients. Another one, advisory to the client on tax matter. They advise their client on any issue that relate to what? Tax matter. Compliance with tax legislation. They ensure that the client comply with the relevant tax law, such as Finance Act 2023, Finance Act 2020, Company Income Tax Act, Value Added Tax Act. So Personal Income Tax Act, they ensure that they comply with those laws. Another one, resolution of tax disputes. In the case of dispute between tax authority, which is the tax administrator, and the taxpayer, it is the responsibility of tax consultant or tax practice firm to resolve the issue. It is their responsibility. Another one is management of tax audit and investigation. If they want to perform tax audit and tax investigation at the end of the year, it is the responsibility of tax consultants that they will be the one to assist the taxpayer to plan for their tax audit and tax investigation. These are the role of tax practice firm. However, this role of tax practice firm can be defined, can be classified or divided into 4 elements. We call it 4 elements of tax practice. The role that we mentioned earlier, we can divide it into 4 elements, which is called 4 elements of tax practice. The 4 elements of tax practice can be classified as follows. Number one element is tax compliance. When you are doing tax practice firm, one of your elements, one of the practice that you do for your client is to ensure that they comply with tax compliance. What we mean by this is all those rules that we mentioned above, some of them can be classified under tax compliance, while some can be classified under tax planning and advisory, while some can be classified under tax litigation, while another one can be classified under tax research and intelligence. So now let's look at the role classified under tax compliance. Gathering of relevant tax information. A tax practice firm, a tax consultant, they will be the one to gather relevant tax information. As a tax consultant, you need to be gather relevant tax information. You need to have updated knowledge. What is the current rate of VAT? What is the new withholding tax rate as amended by Finance Act? So gathering of relevant tax information is one of the elements under tax compliance. Another one is evaluation and classification, classifying the information. Those information that they gather, they evaluate it. How is it going to be relevant to their client? How is it going to be relevant to their client? You understand? They evaluate it. Filing of necessary tax return, like we said earlier, tax consultants or tax practice firm, they file necessary tax return on behalf of their clients. Representing clients during tax audit and investigation, we have said it in the role that we mentioned earlier. They represent their clients during the tax audit and investigation, because during the tax audit and investigation, they will be dealing with tax consultants. So the client may not have the technical knowledge to deal with tax administrator, which is the tax authority. So it is the tax consultant that will deal with them on behalf of the client. If they need any relevant information during the tax audit, it is the tax consultant that will provide it to the tax authority. Another one, tax planning and advisory elements. Let's look at the role under tax planning and advisory elements. Arranging client transaction to optimize or minimize tax liability. This one means that tax authority, tax consultant, they help taxpayer to arrange their transaction, to do tax planning, so that at the end of the day, their tax liability can be minimized. They help them to engage in tax avoidance, so that the liability can be minimized. Another one, planning for open transaction. They help them to plan for their transaction on a real-time basis. As the transaction, as taxpayer is engaging in one or two transactions, they ensure that the relevant taxes on those transactions is being deducted or remitted. Close transaction. They ensure that after transaction has been taking place, all the tax due on those transactions have been remitted to the tax authority as at when due. Another role is in the area of tax litigation. In the area of tax litigation. So the third element, tax litigation. What are the role of tax consultants or tax practice firm under tax litigation? One is settlement of dispute with tax authority. When taxpayer and tax authority has a dispute, it is the tax consultant or tax practice firm that will settle that dispute. They also appear or assist the taxpayer as a witness in the court of law. They represent the taxpayer in the court of law on an issues that relate to tax matters. So let's look at tax research and intelligence. Tax research and intelligence. Tax research and intelligent elements. Apart from rendering service to clients, tax practice firm, they can perform a role of doing research in tax that will help government to develop a strong tax policy, a viable tax policy in the long run. So sometimes tax practice firm, because they have knowledge of tax, they will identify a tax problem. Some of the new law relating to tax signed by the government, tax practice firm can identify gap in those laws. Those gaps are referred to tax problem. And after identifying those gaps, they will also provide solution to it. Providing solution to those gaps, those problems in the tax law is also one of their role under research and intelligence. So all these are the elements of tax practice. If you are asked, what are the elements of tax practice? There are 4 elements of tax practice. Number 1, tax compliance. Number 2, tax planning and advisory. Number 3, tax litigation. While number 4 is tax research and intelligence. And under this element of tax practice, we have different roles that tax practitioner perform on each element of tax practice. Now, the next heading we should look at now is reasons why tax practice firm leverage on technology. Reasons why tax practice firm leverage on technology. This one is saying, what do you say? Key reasons why tax practice firm leverage on technology. In this case, what are the reasons why tax practice firm or tax consultant make use of information technology? The information technology we are looking at, some software. Why does tax practice firm make use of Excel? Why does tax practice firm make use of Word? Why does tax practice firm make use of accounting package? Why does tax practice firm also make use of some social media handles like Twitter, like Facebook, like LinkedIn? Why? Winning more clients is one of the reasons. Why if tax practice firms are on social media like LinkedIn or Twitter, sending relevant tax information to people to read or updating them, reminding them on due date of tax planning, most of the companies, they will follow them. They will follow that tax practice firm because they know that they can get information on tax, on new updates, on new updates. As a result of that, in the course of following them, some of the new companies engage them as they will win more clients. Retaining more clients that have, they will win because the kind of service that are through the use of IT will be so effective. It will be seamless. So they will retain them. Another reason why tax practice firm level technology is cross-selling services. Tax practice firm, if they have more knowledge on technology, apart from providing tax service, they may provide another service as regards to IT to the client. Another reason is adding greater value. If you have technology knowledge, if you are IT inclined, you are a digital, that means you are a digital accountant. You have IT knowledge. You know how to operate a software. You know how to use Excel. It will add more value to your knowledge. You understand? It will add more value to you. Time saving is one of the reasons. Doing tax computation using Excel using accounting package. It will save our time than writing it, pressing calculator. No, it will save our time. What will we do in Excel? With Excel, within 30 minutes we are done. But if you are doing it using working paper, writing it with biro, old way of doing things, it may take like 4 hours before we finish. And in the long run, we may even make a mistake. Time savings is one of the reasons we get accurate data within a little time. And another thing, cost savings. Why tax consultant leverage on technology? It saves their cost. Some of the time, you go and be using paper to write, to do this, print. No, when you are using technology, Excel, you have already been using it online. If you want to file return for your clients, you don't need to go and be filling form. You don't need to go and be paying for transport or fueling your car to tax office. It will save your costs. It will save your costs. All the cost of arranging working paper, printing working paper, buying some papers, it will reduce. Mobility of service. While using IT as a tax consultant, you can perform your service even in your bedroom. On your bedroom, you can perform your service. While you are with your laptop, while you are with your laptop and you are sitting on your bedroom, you can help your client to file tax return. Or if you travel to your village, you are not in the office. Since you are not in the office, when technology is in that area, you can perform service. When they have network in that area, you can perform service. Reports. You can do anything. Unlike before, that we are not using IT, that we normally use paper. It is when you get to office, you can't just be carrying paper from one place to another. Mobility of service. It increased tax audit quality. More quality job will be done through the use of IT. And another reason why give them new skills. Tax practitioner, tax professional, they get new skill by using IT. Have achieved a lot through IT. So as an accountant generally, apart from being a qualified accountant, I've passed my ICANN, I've qualified. You need to go and invest on IT. Accounting professional is now a digital professional. It's now driven by IT. You understand? It's driven by IT. Without having good IT knowledge, you may not excel in accounting profession now, because most of our job is now done through the use of IT. So a good accountant must invest heavily on IT. After you have qualified, you need to invest on IT too. If you are a qualified accountant, ACA, you don't know how to use Excel, you don't know how to use accounting package, you may find it difficult to see a good job. So that is that. The next thing we are going to look at is possible legal or ethical issues arising from tax work. What are the possible legal or ethical issues arising when you want to tax work for your those issues arise that may go against ethics, that may go against ethic of your profession, or that may lead to clients suing you to court, or that may lead to tax authority arresting you as a tax consultant, prosecuting you. What are those possible or ethical issues that may arise while doing tax work? One is failure of tax practitioner to maintain appropriate professional competence. In accounting profession, one of the quality of an accountant is technical competence. Technical competence means you have updated knowledge on your field. So relating to tax, when tax practitioner does not have updated knowledge as regards to tax profession, you don't know the update knowledge on withholding tax, rate of withholding tax. Where you're supposed to use 10%, you mistakenly go and use 5% while you are advising the client. Client asks you, what is the withholding tax on management fee? They want to charge withholding tax on management fee. Maybe it's 10%. You now advise them it's 5%. They now deduct 5%. They pay the balance to the receiver. Later, tax authority now come. They sanction them that on this withholding tax on management fee is 10%, so you people deduct 5%. So by virtue of that, you pay the balance of 5% and you pay penalties. That means the client, we have to blame you, the tax practitioner that advised them. They will blame you. I mean, our tax consultant does not have technical knowledge, technical competence. So in the long run, it may lead to losing your job, losing your contract with them, losing your job with them. They may engage another firm. So failure of a tax practitioner to maintain appropriate professional competence is one of the ethical issues arising from tax work. Reasonable inquiry. Reasonable inquiry. Failure to make reasonable inquiry where information or documentation are furnished. This one is meaning that as a tax consultant, you should obtain all the relevant information and documents from your client while rendering tax service. But when you fail to request for the relevant information or documents while you are doing tax service to them, and as a result of that, it results into the tax penalty to the client, you will be the one to blame. That means you have gone against your profession. You must collect all the relevant information needed for your tax work. Continue to act when you give misleading information to your clients. It's against the ethical issue, ethic of your profession. It's against the ethic of your profession. This one, tax avoidance or tax evasion, advising your clients to do tax avoidance or to do tax evasion. Tax avoidance is even good, but helping your clients, aiding them to practice tax evasion is against our professional ethic. If you're a court, professional institute like ICANN, they will sanction you. Why do you tell your client to be doing tax evasion? Why do you tell your client to be understating their expenses, to be overstating their expenses and understating their income? Deliberate acts. Why do you tell your client to be concealing some information to the tax authority? It's against the professional ethics. As a tax practitioner, tax consultant, you may be sanctioned by your professional body Failure to supervise tax audit work. Client will not be happy. You are being engaged as a tax consultant. They want to conduct tax audit in your client office. You fail to appear. You fail to represent them. You fail to attend it. What is the essence of paying you for? It's against the ethic of your profession. That means you are being paid for for the job not done. So all these are the legal and ethical issues that may arise from tax work. We have so many. Another one, personal gain. Personal gain. When you have financial gain from the client office, apart from your tax work, you have personal gain. This one means maybe you are colliding with tax authority to come and be giving your the taxpayer unreasonable tax liability. You are exposing the secret of your client to tax authority, so that tax authority will give you some bribe, some gain, because of your personal gain. Or you are asking the taxpayer to give you some PR that you want to use it to settle tax authority. In the long run, you did not give them 1 naira. Personal gain. This is against the ethic of our profession. So all these are the ethical issues that is against the ethic of our profession. Now, significance of legal and ethical issue in preparation of return and reporting. When you fail to follow the ethical standard or legal standard of your profession as a tax consultant, what is the consequence or significance of not following legal and ethical issue while rendering tax work? What is the consequence? When you fail to follow, imposition of fine. You may be fined. Your professional body, your professional institute may fine you. Why do you do this? Suspension from membership of the institute. You may be suspended for some time. ICANN can suspend such tax consultants that are engaging on ethical issue. ICANN can suspend them. Another one, expulsion from the membership of the institute. If that offense or unethical issue that you practice while rendering tax service is so material, maybe you collect client, you collect money from clients that you want to help them file tax return, or you want to help them pay for value added tax, or you want to help them pay for company income tax, and you do not pay the money to the tax authorities. You do not pay any down. You collect like 20 million. Please, I want to help you to file your tax return. This money is for payment of your tax. Pay me. Let me help you pay. And you did not pay 1 naira. That means it's a criminal offense. If I can add, here the case, it may lead to expulsion. That person can be expelled from the membership. Another one, withdrawal of certificate and right to practice. Sometimes you may the certificate of practitioner can be law or a license, or that person is not doing good job. Most clients normally complain. They now write out to the institute that this kind of client, this kind of tax authority, why do you give him license? He does not know anything. He does not know anything. Why do you give him license? I can write you, please return back the license. Reprimanded, reprimand. They may charge that consultant to court if care is not taken. He may be charged to court. He may be charged to court. So these are the consequence or significance of legal and ethical issues arising from tax work. Another one we want to look at is benefits of running a tax practice firm. If you run a tax practice firm, what benefit do you stand to gain? When you run a tax practice firm in this country now, tax profession is bringing more money to accountant than even audit. There is more money in tax now than audit. So financial benefits, you will see a lot of financial benefits while running a tax firm. You pick your own team. You have your own team of staff. You have your own clients. You create your own vision. All these are the benefits to your firm. What are the risks for running a tax practice firm? Risk of running a professional tax practice firm. What risk do we tend to is going to arise from running a tax practice firm? What are the kind of risks that may arise from running a tax practice firm? Lack of expertise. If you don't have expertise knowledge, it's a problem. You may not give good professional opinion. If you don't have expertise knowledge, it's a problem, and you may not give good professional opinion. Another one, lack of attention to details. You may not have attention to details if care is not taken. Lack of documentation. Some of the evidence you gather, if you don't document them very well, it's a problem. It's a problem. When they want to do tax audit, they ask you for the document, you cannot provide it. It's a problem. Unpredictable income for owners. Sometimes the owner may find it difficult to get some income, and sometimes the income from a particular assignment may be so huge. Now, what are the measures that is put in place to mitigate the risk of running a tax practice firm? If you want to run a tax practice firm, we have mentioned those risks that you may fail, you may experience. So what are those measures that is put in place to mitigate those risks? One of the measures that you should put in place is you should only take the assignment or only the job that you have knowledge of it. There are some tax jobs as a tax consultant, you may not have knowledge of it. is a specialized job, like international tax, like transfer pricing regulation. It is not every tax consultant that have knowledge of it. Some people, that is only job that they do. So if you go and take that job and you don't have knowledge of it, it may affect you. So you need to plan yourself that the kind of job I will take is those kind of job I have competence knowledge of it. Don't look at money. Another one, implement quality control system or peer review. Implement what? Quality control system or peer review. What this one means is that your tax practice firm, they should have a department that has to do with quality control. Any task work that assignment that you have done and you want to send it to clients, somebody else should review it before sending it to clients, before sending it to tax authority. It should be reviewed whether it's of quality or not. It should be reviewed. Use of checklist. You need to have checklist for your client work. Every of your client in their client file, there should be a checklist. Every month, you should be looking at those checklists. Have I done this for my client? When it is time I need to file tax return for my client. When it is time I need to file value-added tax for my client. When it is time I need to pay for my client. Checklist. 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 And you need to invest in education too, for you to mitigate the risk you will face while running a tax practice firm. Invest in education. Go and attend tax training. Attend training on tax. Have more knowledge on tax so that you can train your staff too. You, the partner, after you attend the training, or the senior manager attend the training, or the manager, they should train others too. Train others. So sometimes too, you should insure your against professional negligence. You should insure. You can insure your firm too. You insure them in case of any liability that may arise. So all this will mitigate risk. We have talked about tax practitioner, tax practice, tax practitioner. Now let's look at tax administrator. Who are the tax administrator? They are the FRS, LRS, GTB, those people that assess, collect, enforce tax system in Nigeria. They are the tax administrator. So what is the role of a tax administrator? As a tax administrator, what role that they play? First role is they register and educate taxpayer. Registration of taxpayer. If you want to register for tax, it is the tax authority, tax administrator that will register you, that will ask for your relevant information, your certificate, your everything, that will register you, that will give you your tax identification number. They also educate taxpayer. When a new tax law is in place, they will educate taxpayer on those new tax law by sending message, doing publication in the newspaper, going to client office, going to taxpayer office, organizing workshop, receiving tax return filed by taxpayer. They receive tax return filed by taxpayer. They receive the tax return. Managing and processing of tax refund application. If taxpayer want to collect tax refund, it is the tax authority or tax administration that will process it, manage it, conduct routine tax audit and investigation. There will be tax administrator, they will be the one to go around, go to all the taxpayer office to go and do tax audit and investigation, to go and determine whether there is additional liability that the taxpayer will pay. They also maintain and enforce that tax debt recovery. If any company is not paying tax that is due for them, they will be the one to go and enforce. They can seal off the office of those taxpayers or put in warrant of distraint. They also advise government on a tax legislation and regulation. If there is need for tax law to be reviewed, it is the tax authority that will advise the government on that and what they need to do, what they need to put. So those are the role of tax administrator. Now, let's look at some of the technology used by tax authority or tax practitioner. What are those technology used in the tax industry? One is cloud computing. Cloud what? Computing technology. Tax authority, tax administrator, they use this to save taxpayer information on cloud. Tax practitioners too use this to save their client information on cloud. Some of the laptop, all the information you have on the laptop, it will be saved on cloud. There's a cloud. Some of the laptop, once they have internet, all the information on those laptops will be updating on cloud. So that in the case anything happened to that laptop, or the memory is not working again, or the laptop is stolen, you can go to the cloud and retrieve those information. You can go to the cloud and retrieve the information. Another technologies that can be used in the tax industry is artificial intelligence and robotics. Artificial intelligence and robotics. What is artificial intelligence and robotics? Artificial intelligence and robotics. What does that mean? Artificial intelligence and robotics. Tax authority make use of artificial intelligence. If you go to their website, there are some questions that you may want to ask by going to tax authority website that it has already been computerized. Once you just click to their website, you just see somebody that will say, what do you want to do? How may I help you? It's not human being, it's computer, but it has already been programmed. If you say you want to ask for some, so there are some questions. If you ask that artificial intelligence, it will answer you some simple little question. Assuming you ask, I want to know the current rate of VAT. Immediately, it will be answered because it has already been programmed. Those questions has already been programmed already. So that if they ask something relating to this is what you need to provide. It's just like this new technology that we have now. What do you call them? That there's nothing you ask that there's nothing you ask in that place that it will provide you an answer. We call it something chat.
Chat
Who can
Chat
remember?
GPT. Chat GPT.
Huh?
Chat GPT.
Chat
GPT.
Chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT. Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's an artificial intelligence. It's an artificial intelligence. So tax authority to make use of artificial intelligence. Tax authority cannot answer questions from client all the time. If they have a customer care service number, the number may be busy. If you go to their website, immediately you enter, you may see some artificial intelligence that will assist you. So artificial intelligence and robotic is also used in tax industry. Another one used in tax industry, blockchain technology. Blockchain technology. Tax authority makes use of some blockchain technology like Bitcoin, digital currency transaction. They make use of some blockchain technology to trace some transaction online. Some people, they are doing digital currency transaction such as Bitcoin so that they can tax them appropriately. All these blockchain, so tax authority can create some blockchain technology. They will just create it. Some people will be added into those blockchain. You think they are the way they want to trade with you. They want to get information on some digital transaction. Blockchain technologies too. Tax consultant can create a WhatsApp group chat for their clients, that clients can be asking information on that WhatsApp group chat, and tax authority, tax consultant will be providing answer to those information. Another one that another technology that we use is data analytic technologies. Data analytics technology, we use it in tax practice too. What are the data analytics technologies? Who can give me an example of data analytics technology? What do we use to analyze data? Spreadsheet. Spreadsheet means Excel, Microsoft Excel. Tax authority make use of Microsoft Excel. Tax consultant make use of it too to analyze tax job. It's a technology. Word is a technology. It's a software. PowerPoint is a technology. There are some tax software used by tax authority, tax consultant. It's a data analysis technology, so that they use it to analyze the information of the taxpayer. It's a technology. Another technology used in the tax industry, social media technology. Social what? Media technology. Both taxpayer and tax authority use this one to disseminate information, to pass information to the taxpayer, especially tax authority. Tax authority, like FRS, they have a Twitter handle where they use to pass information every day. Many companies, they follow them on Twitter. Likewise, me too, I follow them on Twitter because I gain a lot from that, their Twitter, on a new tax policy, new tax issue, reminder of time to file tax return. I follow them. Facebook, FRS too can be on Facebook. You can target Facebook. FRS is on Facebook. Many people will follow them and they will be passing information. Some of those people that follow them will pass those information across to the people. Instagrams too. When they are there, if FRS have a Facebook, if many people follow them, they can use it to gather information about taxpayer, especially LRS. Assuming LRS have a Facebook, many people follow them. Some of those people that are living a luxury lifestyle, they can trace them so that they can know the kind of tax that they pay. Is it commensurate with what you are living, what you are living with, your standard of living? They can use it to gather tax evidence. So social media technologies too is very important to is used in the tax practice. So mobile app technologies too. Mobile app technology like Apple Store, tax authority use it, tax consultant use it. Mobile app technology. Some accounting software is mobile app technology. So that they can use it to access financial data of their clients. FRS, they design one mobile app technology that help taxpayer to file their tax return and to gather some tax information and to for seamless tax operation. They have some mobile, they design one mobile app that we are using presently, and it is very easy. It makes our job easy as a tax consultant. It also makes the job of tax authority easy. Who can tell me the mobile app technology recently used or designed by FRS that we are using? Who can tell me? You have not heard of Tax Promas? Hello? That
Yes,
mobile
sir.
app technology is called Tax what?
Tax
Tax
Promas.
Proma. In my phone, I can log into Tax Promas. In my laptop, I can log into Tax Proma anywhere. Once I have the username of the company and I have their password, that means it's a mobile app. If you are asked, what are the uses of Tax Promas? What are the areas that Tax Promas is important? Tax Promas is used for e-filing, e-payment of tax, e-registration, e-certificate, e-tax clearance certificates, electronic tax clearance certificates. E-receipt, electronic receipt. So it's a mobile app technology. It's a mobile app technology. Now, let's look at possible impact of new technology to tax practice and administration. What impact does technology have on tax practice and administration? What impact will technology give or benefit technology, IT, will give to tax practitioner or tax administrator? Number one, customer satisfaction. If I'm using Excel, I'm using mobile app technology. I will certify my customer very well. Example, FRS, by deploying Tax Promas, they are certifying their client, their customer, which is the taxpayer, very well, because it makes taxpayer job to be easy. Taxpayer can file return without going to tax office. They can pay tax without going to tax office. They can collect receipt without going to tax office. They can download their withholding tax credit note without going to tax office through tax promas. They are certified. Low cost of compliance. Tax promas is safe cost. So tax authority, they save a lot of cost by deploying tax promas. There are some before, when you go to tax office, there will be a staff dedicated for giving out receipts, especially withholding tax credit notes. You just give that staff, those staff, they are responsible for it. But right now, any receipt that you want to collect in tax office is online. Go to your tax promat, log in your company detail, you get your receipt. E reduce the cost of printing. Before, when you want to file value added tax return in tax office, they will give you a book like 3 pages or 4 pages. It has a duplicate. FRS is spending a lot of money on cost of printing. But with the tax promas now, cost of printing have reduced. So there is no need of printing again. Once you file that return in tax promas, that your information that you file in tax promas will be saved on cloud. Anytime, any day, tax authority can view it on cloud. There's no need of paper that they will be paying money for warehouse. In the early 2000s, when you go to tax office, they will have some warehouse where they file taxpayer record and they pay rent on those warehouse. Taxpayer record. When you need one record about your company, or they will go to the warehouse, be searching for documents. How long are we going to continue with that? Technology has come into place. It has helped us to reduce all this. Minimization of data error is another impact or benefit that tax technology creates to tax practice and tax administration. Data error will be minimized when you use Excel to sum a figure. The tendency of having data error will be so low than using calculator to sum that figure. When you use calculator, you use your hand to press calculator. There is high tendency that there may be data error. The figure, the total you want to get may be error. Because you are human being. Human being are bound to make error. But computer, the error in the computer is so minimal compared to human being. Improve voluntary compliance. Right now, when a taxpayer have a tax plan, they comply voluntarily. They can pay that at any time, at the right time, without going to tax office. So with that, why sitting there in the office paying VAT? They would like to comply. What challenges? The next area we need to look at is what is the challenges technology create to tax practice and administration in Nigeria? What challenges technology bring to tax practice? What are the challenges that we may experience while using IT, either by tax practitioner or tax administration? Number one, low computer literacy level. That tax authority or tax practitioner may have no knowledge on how to use computer. There are some partners in professional firm. They don't know how to use computer. Do you understand? In the early 2000s, because they are being trained on paper, they don't train on how to use computer, and they don't want to go to computer training because they think They see it as a slap for them going to computer training. I'm an FCA. What does FTA? Eh? Being a fellow chartered accountant does not mean you should not update your knowledge. Does not mean you should not add value to yourself. Does not mean since I'm an FCA, that means I know everything on accounting and tax. That one does not mean no. You need to be going to updating your knowledge. Knowledge is dynamic. Knowledge is changing day by day, especially accounting profession. It's changing day by day. The syllabus that they used to qualify in 1985, they cannot use the syllabus now. It's not what I can use it now. A lot of things have been changed, especially in tax. You cannot go and take tax pass question, advanced tax pass question of 2005. You are now reading it that you want to use it to attend an exam now. That one na answer. Is because a lot of review have been made on tax that 2005 or 2010 past question, it is updated, it's outdated already. There is a new law now. That one is even far. If you go and to practice 2015 question and saying that is what you are going to use to do tax examination, that person may likely fail, especially personal income tax, company income tax, value added. A lot of things have been changed. Tax is dynamic. Tax profession, tax knowledge is dynamic. It's not static. So low computer literacy level. Another problem, challenges that tax practitioner or tax administrator may face while using technology: poor internet facility. Some of those technology that we are using, especially tax promas, without internet, you cannot log into tax promas. If internet is not good, you cannot file return in tax promas. It will not go. Or sometimes the server of the FRS may be down because of the large traffic, especially toward ending of the month, ending of June, where most of company file company income tax return. The server will be down because of high traffic. Poor internet facility is also another challenge. Possible of cyber threat. IT is good to use. It is good to use. It is good to have mobile app. It is good to have banking mobile app and pay online. But if care is not taken, if you are using mobile app for your bank, for the bank you are using, if care is not taken, if peradventure your phone lost or some virus, you try to press them on your phone, cyber threat may arise. Your account, the money in your account will be transferred. Company information, private information, some hacker may hack FRS information. Some hacker may hack FRS website. Hacking FRS website, they want to get information on some company so that they can use it to penetrate fraud on those companies. Possibility of cyber threats is a challenge. high implementation cost. All this IT we mentioned is not by free. Using FRS deploying task programmers software, they pay a lot to design that. They pay a lot. It's not free. They pay. Even there are still some team that FRS engage, some IT consult, IT expert, that they are still helping them to maintain that task programmers, and they pay a lot of money to secure the task programmers against hacker. So high implementation cost, lack of technical know-how. You may not know how to use computer. Challenges of data validation. Sometimes you may send data, you may file return. The return may not be successful. So all these are the challenges of use of IT. All these are challenges of use of IT. So that is what we need to talk on today. So any question, any issue, any query, any question, any issue, any query on this, please, this topic, let's take note of it very well. This topic, let's take note of it. A practice question may come that will tell you, one firm was a task consultant. They may ask you, you should tell us what are the risks of owning a task consultant firm, practice firm, or what are the legal and ethical issues that those firms may face from doing that job that company engaged them. What is the consequence? They will not ask you a direct question at this stage. They will give you an illustrative case that relates to this task practice and task administration. It is you, when you read the illustrative case, when you digest it, it is you that will know that this is the area that they are going. This is the kind of answer I will be giving them. Please, let's take note of it. Let's take note of it. And general advice I need to advise. Our exam is approached. We have done a lot. All we have done in the past, let's try to be revising them. If we have any issue regard to anything we have done in the past, please do not say lecturer by saying what we are doing for service we arrange. So you need to be for money for the service. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Any other question? Any question? Any issue? So in the absence of no question, I think we can call it a day. Thank you for having me.